Hi there crafters, it's Ruth here at artfulstampin.co.uk, and today I'm bringing something slightly different. I'm going to be doing some canvas art, which is basically doing some art on canvas, and I'm going to be using as inspiration an image that I've seen quite a bit on Pinterest. My upline Monica Gale made a beautiful card with this image on it, and I was totally inspired. The idea is to make kind of like a unicorn, but very minimalistically. So I've already sketched out here on a piece of paper the unicorn shape with the flowers and ears and eyelashes type thing, and cut out some bits and pieces that I'm then going to stick onto this canvas here. Now before I do, I want to have a play with the beautiful, fabulous texture embossing paste, and the reason I'm just doing this is because I've got glitter on it. I've been using the glimmer paper to cut out the unicorn horn, I guess that's the right word I want for that, and it's gone everywhere. Right, so this is the texture paste, and it comes in a tub like this. Now when you open it, oh, there's another little lid here. There we go. Now when you get it, don't think, oh my goodness, I've only half filled it. They've deliberately only half filled it for a reason, and that is so that you can get your spatula in there and give it a good old mix around. Okay, so the amount that it says on the tin is in there. Okay, it's just they've given you a slightly larger tub so that you can actually get mixing in there. Okay, so this texture paste can be used directly onto paper and card and canvas and so on, or you can actually mix it with some colour before you use it, and that's quite fun too. But what I'd like to do is just have a few little clouds just on my canvas here, and so I'm just popping a few just onto the side, and then I'm going to do the other side of the canvas, and as you can see it's going on really easy, and a spatula is really great for, especially this wide one, it's great for getting the texture paste in there. And then all you do is just lift it off and you're left with this really fabulous texture there. I'm just going to do this side as well. Now the tip that everybody is going on about at the moment is have some water ready to wash your stencil out with once you've used it, and I would say that's definitely a really good tip. As soon as I finish this, I'm just going to go and run this under some water and get it clean. So there we go. I just want a little bit more texture in there. Now the great thing about this stuff is that it does dry pretty quick, so you don't have to wait too long before you can actually then carry on working with your project. Oh, that's a bit too textured, just going to scoop that up a little bit. There we go. I think I must have scooped a little bit too much underneath my stencil because I've got too much there, so I'm just going to grab the other palette knives. When you order the palette knives you get 3, so you can use all the different ones for different reasons, and you can kind of figure out which one you prefer and for what. I can't say that there's one for one particular thing at the moment because I'm just still getting used to it myself, so I'm just kind of cleaning up there. I'm not too worried actually because a lot of my design is going to go over that. So as you can see, you've got all that lovely texture going on there. I'm just going to tidy up the edge a little bit. Right, so as soon as you've finished using your texture paste, just scrape as much of the excess paste back into the jar and then pop the lid on, and as tight as it'll go, and you're way to go for the next time. I'm off to go and wash this. So while I'm letting this just dry, I'm going to just bring over some of the little pieces that I've already cut out ready to go on my canvas. If I bring back my sketch, you'll be able to see how I've translated it. So there's my sketch, and this is the horn for the unicorn. Now the easiest way I found to cut this out is this is a 2-inch wide strip by 6 inches long. Now if you're going to be cutting quite a few of these out, I recommend that you cut your cardstock so it's 6 inches wide, then measure 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches along there, and then from here measure 1 inch, then 3 inch, then 5 inch, and then cut along to meet the notches that you've done, and that way you'll get a horn going that way, one going that way, and so on. So because I'm planning to actually do this with a class with children, I want to be able to get the most out of my glimmer paper. So now this pink glimmer paper unfortunately has retired, but we still have some gorgeous silver, gold, red and dazzling diamonds glimmer paper in the current catalogue. So it's quite easy to actually colour the dazzling diamonds one in. You create quite a lovely effect with that. Right, so then here are my ears. Now the ears are cut out with the leaf framelets that we have in the current catalogue. So that's one of the leaf shapes. So that's that one. And then the inside, you can either cut that by hand. I kind of cheated with a retired, let me see if I can grab it, a retired punch and use this leaf shape here. So if you still have this punch, then you can use that. So that's what that is. And then I've used the new daisy punch to stamp and then punch out 2 daisies, and I've stuck those together. I'm going to have that as kind of a bit of a focal flower. And then I've used the flower shop stamp and then punch to cut out these here. So I've got 3 of those I'm going to stick on. Now some of the punches you're about to see aren't Stampin' Up, and that's because I have quite a prolific punch collection, floral punch collection. These ones are from the retired Petite Petals, but there are some current little flower punches that we have. Just have a look in the catalogue and you'll see them that I could have used. But because this is, as I say, going to be a class for kids, I wanted to have lots of punches available for them to use. And then this is a tiny little flower punch as well from another company. So I've already gone ahead and inked the edges of some of these so that they're ready to stick down. Again, that's a retired flower one. Now, I was quite pleased how I managed to cut these eyes out. I can't decide which way to have them. I might have them that way or I might have them that way. I don't know. Can't decide just yet. But if you have got the, just trying to find it, the Bow Builder punch, then this is a fabulous way to do the eyes. The eyelashes are done with a leaf punch that I have from another company, but you could cut those out by hand probably quite easily. So here is the bow shape from the Bow Builder punch, okay, and I'm going to cut from that point, let's focus, that point there to there, and then that point there to there. So watch this, guys. And the camera will focus. Just turn it around. Just do that. Ta-da! You end up with that lovely eye shape. Okay? I mean, you could use that for all sorts of things. Makes a nice leaf as well, actually. So that's how I got those eye shapes. And then I punched out some leaves with the gorgeous Lucky. Not Lucky, I keep calling it Lucky, it's not, it's a lemon lime twist. So I've got some leaves there to throw in there and tuck those in when I come to sticking down. And yeah, some of the cutesy leaf shapes. Right, so that's how I've done all those bits. Now ready to stick down. So I'm going to bring my canvas back in, and I'm hoping that it's fairly dry. It's still a little bit tacky. Some of it is dry in places, so I'm going to try and stick down in the areas that aren't tacky. So let's start with the eyes. I've already sponged a little bit of Sweet Sugar Plum as cheeks here. It was a bit of an experiment. I'm going to see how it looks at the end of it, and then I may add or may not add more. I'll see how it goes. So I may as well add my eyes. I have them like that. I think that's quite cute. And I'm going to have these quite low down because I want there to be quite a nice big space for the unicorn head and the head and the flowers to go on there. So I'm just going to be using Tombow. So that means that you just need to hold it down and give it time to stick, because it just needs a good few seconds just to make sure it adheres properly. So there. And there. See, already looks quite cute. Okay, I'm going to bring my unicorn horn there, and I'm going to put quite a good bit of Tombow on here to make sure it sticks nicely, because I don't want that coming off. And then when you've got these elements down, it kind of makes it easier then to place all the other bits and pieces. Now I am aware I'd like to stick something in the middle of this daisy, because it's missing out something. Okay, so now some of the other flowers I'm actually going to be using dimensionals, because these dimensionals really are quite sticky, and they will adhere to this canvas no problem. So I want to cover up the base of the unicorn horn there, so I'm making sure that that bottom line cannot be seen. So I'm going to really tuck this flower in there, and then I need to think about where I'm going to put my ears. I think that will be fine, so they've got to be the same distance apart. Now I'm just going to place them there for a moment, because I'm still waiting for this. Actually, I'm just going to place that one there because I'm still waiting for the texture paste to dry. In the meantime, I'm going to just get sticking these other flowers. And then I think I'll come back to you. Right, so I've stuck lots of flowers down already. I've still yet to stick these glittery bits that I've decided to add on. So I've punched out with the 3/4 inch circle punch a glimmer circle that's just going to go in the centre of my daisies, or my double daisy rather. So that's going to pop in there, and I'm just using dimensionals for that. And then I'm absolutely loving the really small dimensionals that Stampin' Up have come out with. It makes it so much easier to stick smaller pieces onto your pieces of craft and artwork. Even this retired star punch, it has no problem sitting behind that and not showing up at the front. So I'm just putting these little glimmer stars. These have been punched out with dazzling diamonds, and I'm afraid Stampin' Up don't have a current little star punch, but we do have some different dies that have stars, if you really do fancy having something that cuts out stars. And I'm just going to pop a little star on the ear, because I thought that might be quite cute. And then another star somewhere. Now I must apologise for the lighting. It's not great, as it's sort of dusk here, and I've had to use artificial lighting as well as daylight, and it's causing a little bit of a shadow. But if I bring this up closer, you can see the detail that's now in there. So you can see that the cloud texture paste, and then this is all the flowers stuck down, and then the little stars there. Okay, so this is just going to make a gorgeous piece of artwork to go up in a girl's bedroom. Now I did have ideas about doing a more kind of wintry theme one, and I thought that would be really fun with maybe some snowflakes. We've got some beautiful snowflake cutouts at the moment, so watch this space. I might come up with a winter themed one for you guys. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you want to see really lovely photos of this, I'm going to be putting that on my blog, so just follow the links to artfulstampin.co.uk in the description below. If you like what you see, please do subscribe, and do share with your friends. Thank you very much. Bye.